Ooh, some blinking lights. This is definitely going to be interesting. Ooh, and the lag is supreme. You know that this is definitely going to be a great game. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be my attempt at playing F1 2020. Now, I'm going to try my best to understand and play the game, but you guys are welcome to laugh and figure things out on your own. Now, I know that there's a brand new 2021 version of the game that came out a few weeks ago, but that's too expensive and this wasn't. So we're gonna play this instead. And without further ado, let's begin. So I have played this game for a little bit before, and ooh, character customization. But anyways, back on subject. I have played this game for about an hour or two before, but I kind of just rushed through everything. I didn't actually sit down and try to actually play the game. I just chose a single character, put in a single letter for my name. Like, it was just as speedy as possible. Now I'm going to try and play the game to the most detail I can do, if that makes sense. Now, let's take a look at what we got here. We got a bunch of characters. Now, we got a bunch of people to choose from. I'm not really sure who I'm going to choose, but you know, we got to choose the right person here. The person that speaks the most to us. He's perfect. Now that we have our character, we need to choose the right name. Now, the right name can really set the tone for your character. It can set a very serious and shows other racers that you legitimately want to play this game and are trying to take it as seriously as possible. So I'm going to choose the perfect name for that. Perfect. We got everything just the way we needed it. Now, to choose an audio name. Now, again, this is what they'll call us on the radio. We also have to choose yet another serious real name here, like Blue. That's a good one. Or Carter, even though our name is Beard Person. Clearly, Engineer is a very good way to go, because wouldn't you just eventually confuse that? Think about it. If you're on the radio and then you just hear Engineer, you're 3 laps down, and you're going to have a guy in the back just be completely confused and not know what you're talking about. The Flying Finn, but that's more for rallying. So Gilks, Goodall, Gowers, Hall. Actually, Hall is a pretty normal name. Hawk, Herbert, Hensel, Heslin, Hill. There's a lot of different names here, but I'm not really seeing names that really stick out to me. This is going to be a lot more difficult than I thought. There really isn't a whole lot here. I mean, there are, but they're mostly real names and not something I can actually use for my Beard Person here, who is a very serious racer. What to choose? Or Bird Beard Person. You know what? We'll do that one. Bird Beard Person. Because that's definitely a very legitimate name that everybody can respect. What about a number? I'm not entirely sure. I'm just kind of going with what it. You know what? We'll do 30, because that's the amount of cars that's going to be overtaking us during a race. Also, I didn't really set up the communication with online services, so you might be seeing this a lot. Alright, now that we've created our profile, we can now jump into the game. Now, we have a few different options here, like the home, solo, multiplayer, F1, esports, all that fun stuff. But what we're probably just going to be doing is going straight into a start new game. Ooh, what about theater? No, I'm getting distracted. Okay. Also, sorry for the clicking and any type of movement that you hear. I don't know how to I don't know how to soften the sounds that my racing wheel makes. This is going to be an interesting experience for all of us. Alright, my team. Now, I'm probably just going to edit through this or just go straight through. Alright, so this is the team overlay. Basically, this is where we choose our sponsors, engine things, vehicle customization, even our emblem and color scheme. So, of course, we're going to use our Beard Person. Why wouldn't I use my Beard Person? He's perfect in every single way. Look, he's not even paying attention. Alright, now we're into team details. This is where we choose our sponsor, our engine, and our other co-driver. But first, we got to choose our team name. Perfect! I couldn't have chose a better name even if I thought about it. So these are our sponsors. Now, each sponsor has a different type of signing bonus and different weekly incomes and goals that they want us to achieve. Say, for instance, the first one here, I can't pronounce that name, but basically complete a full season, finish 10th or better in the Constructors Championship, earn 15 Constructors Championship points in a season, and as a team achieve 2-point finishes during a season. And they all have different amounts of money and different type of goal bonuses that they all have, and it's really up to the person to figure out what they want to do. Now, I don't really know what any of this actually means, but let's just do the second best here, or second lowest, because I have low expectations. Finish 10th or better in the Constructors Championship. I feel like we can do that. That feels like a very, very achievable goal. Alright, so these are our 4 main power manufacturers. We have Honda, Renault, Mercedes, and Ferrari. Now, I'm tempted to just go with Ferrari and have like the most everything, performance, durability, and everything like that. But I have a feeling that because it costs the most, we might have less money. I'm not entirely sure. But the performance and durability is absolutely perfect. Hopefully we can sign up one of our teammates for less than 100,000 a season. Dang, nabbit, they're all too expensive. But besides from the money involved with trying to hire every one of them for $1 million, there's a lot of other things that you gotta take into account. We got all these numbers here, like experience, race, awareness, and pace. In short, you really want to be paying, at least for me, I'm paying attention to the rate, because all this other stuff doesn't really make any sense. In my reasoning, these three are exactly the same price, so to be honest, I'm just gonna go with the best one. Alright, so I figured out the money portion and the engine stuff. Now it's time to go into the car livery stuff. Now, we can either choose a preset that it already has loaded into the game, or we can spend copious amounts of time and make our own, which I probably won't do as it might take up too much time. Perfect, now we got our car. Now to move on to the badge stuff, which should also be interesting, though I think it is more time consuming than everything else. Yet again, we can either use this and just change the color slightly, or we could try to make something else. But again, I'm not sure if I really want to spend a whole lot of time. Done, perfect. Alright, now we just need to choose the team colors, but I'm already kind of getting the color scheme in. Alright, now the color scheme's chosen, but now I'm a little bit confused because there's only one thing that doesn't match. Their suits. I mean, like, just think about it. We have purple, purple, white. We have purple, purple, white. And purple, white, then purple, purple, then red. I'm not entirely sure as to why that is. It's probably just because it's a normal default that you can't actually change in game, or we might be able to change it later on. Hopefully we can. So it would be nice to have everybody matching. Maybe I could even change its beard to purple too. That would be perfect. Now we have a bunch of assists and default things that I gotta go through, so this will probably just take a minute. Alright, now that's done. Wait a second, why are we going to headquarters? Meet the press? Wait a second, am I actually gonna have to do that too? I thought that this was just a normal game. I would just go straight to the racing part. I think this is why I actually skipped through all of this, or I tried to get through everything as fast as possible. Because I do remember that this game had a lot of other things that you had to do before you could even get to the racing part. Hello, random person. I guess I'm good too. I like how I'm just kind of like slightly confused. I'm just kind of like waiting there, like looking around like, okay. Wait a second, this isn't a cutscene? I actually have to do things? I honestly thought I was just gonna sit here and then it was gonna throw me into the car, but I guess we actually have to do this.
No one aims to finish bottom of the table. Who's the team you're aiming to beat?
Not last, hopefully. Alright, now we're at the main hub. There's tons of stuff that I don't understand, but I'm assuming that this main, like, what do you call it, calendar thing, is the main thing that we're looking at here. It's apparently our schedule, and basically we have to schedule things in our timeline in order to make sure that we can progress in the game and things like that. And basically this main thing is the calendar here, which actually determines quite a lot. We actually have to schedule things and make sure that we use our time wisely, otherwise it won't lead to productivity in the game or something like that. Basically we have different departments and different department morale, second driver stats, acclaim and resources. All these different types of things can actually help you progress in the game and can also help your team grow, which I don't really understand, but we're going to try it anyways. And then we have messages from Carl, though I'm not going to read through it. And that's basically it. You don't really do a whole lot here. I mean, you do a lot here, but it's mostly stuff that I really don't understand. Like facilities, R&D, vehicle, corporate, and standings. Well, the standings I do understand, but everything else is kind of just gibberish. So I'm gonna have to try my best to try and figure out what to do and how to do things and all that fun stuff. But hopefully Bearded Menace can rise to the top of the standings, and pressing the X like so will advance time because I don't know why, it just does. And now we have advanced time enough to go to the car reveal. Okay, to be completely honest here, I've seen a few different F1 unveilings, and the car has never looked this pixelated at all. It's like, oh yeah, we got this great epic like unveil to like this really pixelated paint job. But after we advance a little bit, we finally get to our first race after setting this up for a half hour. But I guess it's better late than never, they always say. Do they always say that? I don't know. We're gonna do it anyways. And just like that, our team is teleported to the track instantaneous using quantum technology. And if we take a look at our workstation here, we got a few things ahead of us. First off, we have practice 1, 2, 3, and then qualifying. Then we finally have the actual race. Now, I'm not sure if I can just skip through all of the practice things, but I'm pretty sure you have to do qualifying, because this seems like a lot of practice for a 15-lap race. Not even in Gran Turismo did you have this much practice time. We also have rivalries as well, but apparently there's no rivalry over yet because I haven't even raced. As Beard Person stands majestically in the wind, looking off into the distance. Then we have the other things that I still don't understand. So I guess we should just jump straight into the first practice session. Doesn't it look beautiful in all of its pixelated glory, in all of its low resolution camera focus? Alright, so Jeff just said that we're ready to go. We got a garage tutorial that we got to go through, but again, I'll probably just skip through it. What was that tutorial? You guys didn't see it, but it didn't say anything about any of the controls. Seriously, I have no idea what any of the controls do, and it was just like, here's what happens. Hopefully you do well. Okay, so after looking through the controls, I kind of know what I'm supposed to do. Or at least the controls that I can use. Alright, so I have the steering wheel, turns left and right, but in this instance, it just tells me to look around. And you have the pedals, which gas looks up, brake looks down, but I'm not entirely sure as to what this really does. I guess it's to look around like a real F1 driver. By the way, all these people are literally waiting for me to say go. They're all just standing in silence, waiting for their boss to say, okay, let's go. So in theory, I could just sit here for an eternity until they all eventually pass out. But considering that eternity isn't really an option in this game, I think we'll go straight forward into the actual test session. Alright, and just like that, we're driving out on the track. I put the car's traction control into off. I don't think it'll be that difficult to control, but hopefully things will go well. By the way, in the bottom right, you're going to see a DRS button. You're probably wondering what that does. I'll explain to you as I'm going along. Okay, wow. Use a flashback? Yes, I will, sir. Perfect. Anyways, what was I saying? Ah, yes, the DRS button at the bottom right. Basically, oh, wow. Basically, what the DRS button does is essentially, on the rear wing there is a kind of like a flap. Press that button and the flap will go down. Because these F1 cars have so much downforce, basically what happens is you get more airspeed going through the car and you can go faster. At least that's my understanding of what DRS does. And we also have overtake and ERS, which is basically our electrical status. When you run out of ERS, you run out of overtake. Okay, wow. And just like that, look at that, we're a rocket ship with DRS on. Oh my goodness, look at the speed climb as we go down the main straight with the DRS on. That was strategic cutting. Hey, at least it's a little bit better than Gran Turismo. You can completely abuse the corners in that game, and it doesn't really have a big issue unless you take someone out. Okay. It seems that we have spun. But basically, besides everything else, this is actually a pretty good little game. I say little when literally pros use this game like all the time. For the longest time, I actually did want to try to get into this game, but it was just too expensive. I had to actually wait until the new one came out before I could actually afford this one. Come on, bearded person, you can do better than that. By the time this practice session is over, everyone will know to fear the beard. Just like that. You put 0.22% of your wheel onto the curb, and guess what? You're spinning! But basically, that was the first practice lap. I was able to get my bearings, try to figure out what I'm trying to do, all that fun stuff. Let's just advance to qualifying and hope everything goes well. Cool, we got some resource points. It's not necessarily great that the AI gained more points, but that's perfectly fine. Also, after a few of the spinouts that we had, you know, just a few, that it might be a good idea just to turn on the traction control to medium. Just a little bit. Again with this, I forgot, does this actually have any storyline, like, whatsoever? And onwards to the race, it was my understanding that this game actually had, like, a storyline to it. Now, I'm not sure if there's, like, a legitimately proper storyline, considering that it's a racing game, but it would be interesting. Jeff has given us some information, and so has Carl, but I think we're good. Alright, onwards to the race. Hopefully everything goes well. We're going to be using our flashbacks quite a lot. Ooh, some jets. And of course, the frame rate is dropping. The lag is really bad. I'm kind of disappointed that they don't say my name. Isn't it a perfect name for this? Okay, apparently we're sitting on the grid and we apparently have a strategy. Alright, so we have to take a pit stop at lap 7, but I don't think there should be any issues. And just like that, we take first position with an epic lunge. Bird person is in the lead, but I'm only just. They're still right there. They are there almost constantly. Braking early. Oh, he has the overtake on. Okay, let's try to overtake this guy. Don't worry, he's only Lewis Hamilton. That was my bad. Oh no! Oh, well, that's fun. Okay, so we have to restart the race, but that's totally fine. Okay, this is actually a lot more interesting now. Didn't want to do that. Strategic cutting. Oh no. Out of the slipstream. Oh no! It's okay. Our mistakes mean nothing. I do apologize a little bit for the lagginess, but there's nothing I can do about it. Am I gonna get any penalty for that? Of course not! It's like Gran Turismo! Sorry.
1 second.
And just like that, this is the last lap, only after a single restart, which is pretty good. I'll call that a win. Beard person, first place! Driver of the day, beard person. Looking majestic as always. Fantastic. They seem to be spraying it, but they don't seem to be getting wet. That was our first race in F1 2020. This has definitely been an interesting experience, to say the least. I quite like this game, and I might do more of it, probably behind the scenes, just to get used to the game and things like that. And there's my crew working on the car, like they should be. But anyways, this is a pretty good little game, and I'm glad I actually have it. Like I said, I'm going to probably play a lot more behind the scenes, and that's me literally right now. But anyways, let me know if you guys liked it. And hopefully, our bearded menace friend can get to the top of the podium. Alright, and just like that, I'll see you guys later. Here's a shot of our deconstructed car and Linda working the computers. Alright, goodbye.